Mashujaa Day to you, a Mashujaa Day that was largely characterized by celebrations across that, picked on the life of Raila Odinga, commemorating him as that one person that indeed has brought a lot of change in the country. I hope yours was a great one. Mine was, and I am here to keep you posted, sitting in for Abubakar Abdullahi. We have lots lined up for you as to the news stories of the day, and here are the top ones. Retired President Uhuru Kenyatta visits Raila Odinga's grave in Bondo a day after his burial. Also tonight, President William Ruto confers Chief of the Order of the Golden Heart on Raila Odinga. And we tell you what Opoda Farm means. A powerful space has defined the epicenter of Raila Odinga's political life. All right, this is the Daily Report. My name is Linda Alela. Once again, happy Mashujaa Day to you. I am here to keep you posted as to the world of news, or what is there. And our sign language interpreter, Rhoda Nyamai. We go straight to the stories of the day, where this year's Mashujaa Day was dedicated to the memory and legacy of the late former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. President William Ruto, in his speech, reflected on the late Raila's life, honoring him as a patriot, a statesman, and a Pan-African hero. And while at it, the president detailed some invaluable lessons from the late former Prime Minister for the nation. Sheila Chelangat with the details of that.
This year's Mashujaa Day celebrations carried the heavy weight of grief from the death of former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, coming just a day after the statesman was laid to rest in his ancestral home in Bondo, Siaya County. President William Ruto, in his speech today, reflected on the journey of Raila, remembering him as a towering patriot, a resolute statesman, and a hero.
He once told us that if he were to die and God asked him where he would wish to be born again, he would say without hesitation, "Take me back to Kenya."
And on Raila's ability to forgive and rise above political rivalries for the sake of the nation's cohesion, President Ruto urged all Kenyans to emulate this.
When in 2002, he stood before the nation and declared Kibaki Tosha, it was not because he was unaware of where President Kibaki came from. It was because he saw beyond geography and ethnicity.
However, Raila's famous gesture of shaking hands with political rivals, like the recent handshake between the late Raila and President Ruto during the Gen Z protests, has always been criticized. Criticism that President Ruto dismissed today.
He understood that leadership is not about personal pride, but about preserving the republic, not about victory in politics.
During his address, President Faye of Senegal expressed his condolence on behalf of the people of Senegal to the people of Kenya on the passing of former Prime Minister Odinga. On her part, Prime Minister Levy of Mozambique said the death of Odinga was a great loss not only to Kenya but also to Africa.
Our heroes deserve all honors. They deserve our respect. They deserve our admiration.
And while Raila's journey came to an end yesterday, his spirit of unity, courage, and dedication to the nation carries on.
He loved Kenya more than he loved Raila Amolo Odinga.
The 7 days of the mourning period set to end on Wednesday next week continues to be observed. Sheila Chelangat for TV47.
Thank you, Sheila. Now, as other leaders headed to Kitui County for Mashujaa Day celebrations, the former President Uhuru Kenyatta took a different path. He remained in Bondo, where the late former Prime Minister Raila Odinga was laid to rest. And in a quiet, solemn gesture, former President Kenyatta visited Raila's grave, accompanied by Odinga's close family members, as Muthoni Brenda details.
As stillness returned to Bondo far from the Mashujaa Day celebrations in Kitui County, a quiet tribute was unfolding. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta choosing to spend his Mashujaa Day at the fresh gravesite of a man he fondly called a brother, in the company of Odinga's family members. The air heavy with silence, a powerful contrast to the crowds witnessed on Sunday. The visibly somber former head of state paid his respects away from the public eye in a solemn moment that spoke to the depth of his grief and the bond he shared with the former Prime Minister. His expression bearing the heavy weight of grief and reverence, a stark contrast to the ever-jovial leader he is known to be. The visit was indeed solemn, no speeches, no media address, and no public fanfare, just silence and a brief prayer before the group retreated to the house. The former president has been visibly devastated by the passing of Raila Odinga. Upon hearing the sad news on Wednesday, he visited the late Odinga's home in Karen, where he was deeply moved and briefly overcome with emotion during an embrace with Mama Ida, Odinga's widow. At the Nyayo Stadium, during the funeral service of the late Odinga, Uhuru shared memories with a friend who faced him in the 2017 general elections. The two high-profile politicians have known each other for decades. Their journey dates back to the 2000s when they were both part of KANU. The year 2002 came their famous split, when the then-President Moi handpicked Uhuru as his successor by passing Odinga. In 2007, Raila vied for presidency, while Uhuru Kenyatta supported Moi Kibaki's incumbent bid for presidency. In 2013, the political temperatures between the two became heightened when they went head-to-head for the presidency. Uhuru was declared the winner in an election that was watched closely across the country. 2017 election saw an intense battle between them, with Raila challenging Uhuru's win in a court legal drama that yet again captivated the nation. Yet in a surprising and historic move, the two leaders reconciled in 2018 in the famous handshake that happened during Uhuru Kenyatta's second term. This paved way for Uhuru's eventual support for Odinga in 2022 elections. Muthoni Brenda for TV47.
The late former Prime Minister Raila Odinga has posthumously been awarded the Chief of the Order of the Golden Heart, CGH, Kenya's highest national honor. Speaking during the Mashujaa Day celebrations, President William Ruto presented the prestigious award in recognition of Odinga's remarkable contributions to the country and his lasting legacy of leadership and service. And as Andrin Kilemi now reports, Raila Odinga has now joined a distinguished group of people who have received the CGH despite never having held the office of president.
In a colorful celebration of heroes, the Mashujaa Day stage at Ithokwe Stadium in Kitui bore witness to a moment etched in Kenya's history. A moment not just of dance and cheer, but of deep reflection and reverence. In a beautiful tribute, school children dressed in pure white honored Raila Odinga through dance and poetry, creating a formation that spelled out Shujaa Raila. Their poems celebrated his lifelong commitment to democracy and national unity. The celebrations also featured a special musical tribute by a renowned musician who performed Odinga's favorite song, the Jamaican Farewell.
Sad to say I'm on my way back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is turning around. I had to leave a little girl in Bondo town.
Amid cheers and patriotic pride, President William Ruto took a solemn pose to posthumously award Raila Odinga with the national highest honor, the Chief of the Order of the Golden Heart Award, CGH. The prestigious award was in recognition of Odinga's remarkable contributions to the country and his lasting legacy of leadership and service.
This is the man, the legend and the Pan-Africanist to whom we dedicate this Mashujaa Day. Raila Amolo Odinga aspired and labored for a Kenya that is free, that is fair, governed by the rule of law, and filled with limitless opportunity for all of us.
Traditionally reserved for sitting presidents, the CGH has also been awarded to a few select individuals of extraordinary impact, including the president of the African Development Bank, a former UN Secretary General, and the leader of the Aga Khan Development Network. The late Prime Minister and opposition leader Raila Odinga now joins that distinguished league, not for the office he held, but for the values he embodied.
It goes without saying that it is precisely because of great and irrepressible giants like Raila that we find within ourselves the courage and inspiration to go further, to dream bigger, and to pursue higher ideals.
Odinga's legacy is now etched into the story of Kenya, a true Mashujaa whose courage and conviction will continue to guide generations to come. Andreen Kilemi, TV47.
Thank you, Andreen. And President William Ruto has appeared to refocus on his key government agendas under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda anchor in his 2022 campaign plan. The president noted that he has consulted various leaders on how to make Kenya a first-class economy. And as Joash Onsari reports, the president said that the country continues to experience economic growth.
Speaking during the Mashujaa Day celebrations in Kitui, President Ruto said that Kenya must rise and attain the level of the world's most developed nations.
It was never about him becoming president. It was about Kenya having a good president and Kenya moving from a third world status to a first world status in a short time as possible, so that we as a people and as a nation can realize our true potential.
Ruto insists his government will fulfill the promises he made during the 2022 campaigns, especially the construction of water storage dams across the country and the establishment of special economic zones to create more job opportunities for the young people.
Rain-fed farming can no longer sustain our growing population or our aspirations. That is why we have now set an ambitious target to build at least 50 mega dams across Kenya and to bring at least 2 million acres under irrigation.
In his honor, the president pledged to champion causes that were dear to Odinga: visionary leadership, democracy, national unity, irrigation for sustainable food security, expansion of energy access, and value addition through agro-processing and manufacturing. The president explained the two were in agreement that leadership is the true driver of national development.
Tirelessly reminded leaders and citizens alike that our overarching identity is not defined by tribe, region, or creed, but by the sacred bond of being Kenyan.
Pointing out that the country's progress cannot be achieved through partisan pursuits, President Ruto noted that this could only be achieved through a national inclusive mission. To achieve food security, the president said Kenya must expand irrigation and modernize agriculture, noting that rain-fed farming can no longer feed Kenya's growing population. In line with this year's Mashujaa Day celebrations theme dubbed Transforming Lives Through Sustainable Energy Solutions, so the head of state announced that the last mile power connectivity program is among the key priorities of the Kenya Kwanza government, promising to extend power supply to all grassroots areas.
We have set our sights on expanding Kenya's energy generation capacity from the current 2,300 megawatts to at least 10,000 megawatts within the next decade.
President Ruto said Kenya is driving transformation in manufacturing and industrialization through special economic zones and county aggregation and industrial parks to create jobs and link farmers, entrepreneurs, and small enterprise to wider markets and value chains. He, however, noted that Kenya cannot industrialize without reliable, affordable, and sustainable energy. And even after Kenyans raised complaints about the Social Health Authority (SHA), President Ruto assured the nation of improved health services and urged residents of Kitui County to register for the insurance program so as to achieve universal health coverage.
Tunataka afya iwe ni haki ya kila Mkenya. Na sababu hiyo ndio tumeweka mpango mpya wa universal health coverage ambayo itahakikisha kwamba kila Mkenya anaweza kwenda hospitali yeyote atibiwe na mpango wa serikali iweze kulipia gharama ya hospitali.
On infrastructure, the president announced that the government will dual at least 1,000 kilometers of major highways, including Rironi Nakuru Mau Summit Eldoret Malaba, Makutano Embu Meru, Kitengela Namanga, Mombasa Nairobi, and Marua Nanyuki Isiolo roads, among others.
And construct an additional 10,000 kilometers of new tarmac roads linking counties, linking farmers, traders, and manufacturers to markets across the nation.
On the National Youth Opportunities Towards Advancement (NYOTA), the president announced that verification of beneficiaries for business grants will begin on Friday every constituency.
Not necessarily.
President Ruto announced that government has allocated 2.2 billion shillings to connect 16,500 households in Kitui by February 2026. Professor Kindiki celebrated Kenya heroes who fought for the country's sovereignty and defended Kenya's dignity, emancipating Africans from colonial domination, expanding Kenya's political rights and freedoms, and advancing and perfecting Kenya's democracy.
2025.
Even as President William Ruto reviews his campaign plan to address key agendas in his government, Kenyans will be looking to see what are the strategies the government has put in place to deliver on the key agendas like agriculture and energy. Joash Onsare, TV47, Ithokwe Stadium, Kitui County.
Thank you, Joash. Now, President William Ruto used the Mashujaa Day celebrations held today in Kitui County to make a strategic move to the Kamba community, pledging accelerated development and reaffirming plans to visit the Ukambani region soon. His remarks delivered before thousands gathered at the Ithokwe Stadium, where widely was seen a circulated and calculated move to court support in the political stronghold of Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka. This story was produced by Alvin Githinji.
President Ruto explained that his scheduled visit to the Kamba region was postponed following the recent passing of former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, while also emphasizing his dedication to visit the region.
Ilikuwa nije hapa Wednesday na nikuwe hapa tena Ijumaa na nikuwe tena hapa kesho na kesho kutwa. Nilikuwa nimepanga safari ya siku 5 hapa Kitui na pia katika sehemu zingine za Ukambani.
The president reiterated his administration's dedication to accelerating development in Ukambani. He outlined a series of ongoing and planned development projects aimed at transforming the region's economy and infrastructure, stating that the region is part of the national government's development plans.
Kuna barabara tulisema tumetengeneza. Kuna zingine zimekamilika, kuna zingine bado. Mimi nataka niwahakikishie yale yote ambayo tuliweka katika mpango yetu tutakamilisha, kwa sababu tunataka wakati tunabadilisha Kenya pia Ukambani inabadilika. Ukambani kwa siku nyingi imewachwa nyuma. Tunataka Ukambani itembee sambamba na sehemu zingine za taifa letu la Kenya.
Ruto's renewed focus on Ukambani is being interpreted as a strategic attempt to penetrate Kalonzo Musyoka's traditional support base. By hosting Mashujaa in Kitui and pledging a visit to the region, Ruto is signaling his intent to consolidate support in a region that has historically leaned towards the opposition.
Siasa ya migawanyiko na chuki na ukabila ndio imetuletea hasara ya sehemu zingine za Kenya kuachwa nyuma kwa sababu ya siasa duni ya kubagua wananchi wengine. Hakuna umaskini itabaki hapa Ukambani. Tunataka tuungane, tushirikiane, tufanye kazi kwa pamoja.
Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka honored the late Raila Odinga, hailing him as a true Kenyan hero whose legacy will endure for generations. Kalonzo emphasized that Raila's courage and determination exhibited true heroism, saying his contributions throughout his life in the pursuit of a fair and just Kenya ensured all citizens would be treated equally. The tribute painted Raila as a symbol of perseverance and hope, a man whose sacrifices shaped Kenya's democratic journey. The rescheduled Kamba region tour, expected in the coming weeks, will be closely watched for its political and development impact. Whether Ruto's charm offensive will translate into tangible support remains to be seen.
There was a low turnout in many counties during the Mashujaa Day celebrations in many counties. And here is now the event, or how the event was marked in different counties throughout the country. This year's Mashujaa Day celebrations across the country were dedicated to the late former Prime Minister Raila Odinga in recognition of his immense contribution and sacrifice in shaping the transformation of our nation.
Tumesema leo tunaiga mambo ya Raila Amolo Odinga ambaye alikuwa ni mtu wa kufanya kazi na hata wale walikuwa wanashindana pamoja.
Bado tunaomboleza shujaa ambaye tulimlasa jana aweze kupumzika, na tunasema aendelee kupumzika kwa amani.
In Kwale County, Governor Fatuma Achani and the County Commissioner led the celebrations at Tiribe Wadi Primary School, the two leading the county in mourning Raila Odinga.
Tunaweza kuzungumza na viongozi, tunaweza kuzungumza na gavana wa jimbo, kuzungumza issues zetu zote, ni kwa sababu watu walitetea katiba na katiba ikapatikana, na mpaka leo hii tuko na majimbo.
In Kirinyaga County, youth were urged to turn up for upcoming recruitment in Kenya Defence Forces, as the government will ensure transparency in the event. Kirinyaga County Commissioner Hussein Alaso assured the youth who are present that only those successful will be taken, calling them to turn up in large numbers. In Nyandarua County, Commissioner Abdirazak Jaldesa and Governor Moses Kiaria Badilisha led residents in commemorating Mashujaa Day at Kadhundia Stadium in Kanjuri Ridge Ward within Olkalau constituency. The occasion was particularly special as it honored local heroes, including celebrated athletes and renowned musicians whose achievements have left an indelible mark on the region.
To honor other heroes and heroines of our times who have made our country and our county great, we celebrate Olympic champion, the late Samuel Wanjiru.
A low turnout was witnessed during the West Pokot Mashujaa Day celebrations in Makutano Primary School. After entertainment, there was a heavy downpour with rainfall disturbing event. The event was attended by West Pokot Governor Simon Kachapin and County Commissioner Khalif Abdullahi.
Lazima tuwike yale yalikuwa napigania sana kuona kwamba Afrika iende mbele.
The situation was no different in Bungoma County, where Governor Ken Lusaka led the locals in celebrating the life of Odinga during the celebrations. The event at Bokoli in Webuye was marked by a minute of silence in honor of Raila.
A true son of Kenya, a man whose name is etched in the very fabric of our nation's journey, the late Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, who is one of the towering heroes of our nation.
The celebrations in Kajiado County breached the usual protocols to honor the late Raila Amolo Odinga. The celebrations marked at Kitengela town commenced with a moment of silence to honor Raila, tributes and testimonials of the late Raila. Members of the public and ODM diehards were randomly given a special moment to honor the late, whom they described as a nationalist and the country's liberator.
Raila alikuwa, he was my mentor. Mimi sijaenda chama ingine na sijaichukua president mwingine, ni ule moja tu, ni Raila Odinga.
In Mombasa County, Kenyans gathered to mark Mashujaa Day this year, not as colorful but full of patriot tributes upon Raila's demise. The celebrations were marked with cultural dances and tributes to historical heroes. Leaders who spoke at the various events took a moment to pay tribute to Odinga's legacy while putting emphasis on things like security, unity and road safety, as well as appreciation of athletes. Raila Odinga's final send-off yesterday added a personal note to today's national pride. A reminder that legacies live on in the hearts of the people. This year's celebrations were, however, characterized with low turnout in many parts of the country. Less than 200 individuals at this year's Mashujaa Day celebrations held at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Stadium in Siaya. Civil servants in the county have now been put on notice. A visible, disappointed County Commissioner Norbert Komora asked for the roll call of civil servants present at the event and warned that those who failed to attend will be required to submit written explanation.
Barely 200 people showed up at the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga grounds for this year's Mashujaa Day celebrations, a clear sign of low public participation in what should have been a major national event, with the blame now falling on civil servants in the county.
Days of national celebration are supposed to be observed by all civil servants. It's not their day here for them, to stay at home and watch television, but they're supposed to be here. You're celebrating with wananchi and responding here to answers that they are supposed to give to answers that wananchi would want to hear.
Before delivering the president's speech, Siaya County Commissioner Norbert Komora directed Deputy County Commissioner Robert Ngetich to conduct a roll call of all government officers present, with the absent civil servants ordered to have a written explanation with a tangible reason for abstaining the event.
I think my message is very clear and loud. All civil servants who never showed up, I want to receive a communication as to why they didn't show up.
Komora further warned that officers who defied the directives will receive show cause letters and urged everyone unwilling to serve the government to faithfully consider resigning, saying those who cannot honor their duty have no business in public service.
If they don't want to work for the government within Siaya government, then they can kindly tender their resignations. We will find other people who are ready to work for the government.
He also took time to thank President William Ruto and the national government for granting the late former Prime Minister Raila Odinga a state burial, describing him as one of Kenya's greatest heroes.
His Excellency the President accorded us a great honor, by also ensuring that one of our own was buried with all the honors that he deserved, for what he has done, for our country, the continent, and the world at large.
Willie Dennis Njiru, TV47.
29 minutes past 9 p.m. We still have lots of stories prepared for you, but we want to take a quick short break. We pay some bills and we come back with those stories.
Hey kids and families, get ready for the most fun-packed show around, Kids on the Block. Join us for awesome music, magical storytime adventures, and super cool arts and crafts. Plus, we pop tasty treats in our cooking corner. Learn, laugh, and create with us. Kids on the Block, where every day is a brand new adventure. Don't miss it.
Rise and shine with the ultimate morning power play from Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Join Fred Indemuli.
Time for us to take a look at the headlines this morning
as he takes you straight to the heart of the nation on Morning Cafe. From breaking down political intrigues to unpacking the stories shaping our country, this is where tough questions meet hard truths.
The president says he has cancelled, then they say, Igwe.
Stay ahead, stay informed, and stay connected. It's your go-to morning fix on politics, policy, and the pulse of the nation.
Raila Odinga has put Kenya's interests first for many times.
The State of the Nation with Fred Indemuli, Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. only on TV47. Your morning, your nation, your voice.
Welcome back. This is the Daily Report, and straight to more stories. The Orange Democratic Movement, Kenya's largest opposition party, is staring at an uncertain future following the death of its founding leader, Raila Amolo Odinga. What was once united political force now appearing to be drifting into rival camps, each claiming to be true to Raila's legacy. Our political affairs reporter Mike Agungu takes a closer look at what is shaping up to be ODM's toughest moment yet.
For nearly 2 decades, the Orange Democratic Movement was synonymous with one man, Raila Amolo Odinga. His voice,
Jesse, forward march.
His vision and his authority kept the movement intact through victories, defeats and coalitions.
Jesse, about turn.
But with his passing on, that unity is slipping. Tonight, ODM seems to be breaking into 3 distinct groups, each interpreting Baba's final wishes differently. The first group includes what insiders call the government wing, which believes Raila left ODM within the broad-based government. Led by Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanga, Junet Mohammed, John Mbadi, Millie Odhiambo and Hassan Joho. This faction insists Raila's final message was clear: to work with President William Ruto.
We will hold it high, we will keep it strong. ODM in 2027, it will either form the government or it will be a coalition that forms government.
Whoever imagines that anaweza kuvunja chama cha ODM, yeye ndio tutamfukuza, my friend, na ahame, chama kitabaki.
But critics warn that this very group could erode ODM's independence, aligning too closely with the administration they once opposed.
Is ODM in opposition?
So you see that rift among ODM leaders, both elected. You see it among ODM followers, those who want to join the Ruto government, those who want to run with President Ruto in 2027, and those who want to be in opposition.
During the late Raila Odinga's funeral service in Bondo, there also emerged the involvement of Group 2, dubbed the Elders Camp, which includes Siaya Governor James Orengo, Kisumu Governor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, and Senator Godfrey Osotsi. From their speeches, the group hold a more sentimental view of Raila's legacy, seeing him as a reformist who fought for democracy, devolution, and justice.
Orange Democratic Movement cannot continue as a party without strong support of devolution and giving services to the grassroots of our nation.
Like inclusivity, we are against those who are trying to tear Kenya apart and speak the language of division.
We are happy as a party. But Baba was happy if all Kenyans enjoy life and benefit.
Analysts believe that this group is cautious and is neither fully joining government nor opposing it. Many within are veterans of Kenya's long political struggles, now seeking peace rather than new battles. They could serve as mediators between the two factions, though with little appetite for another political war.
Should they split, then there's going to be issues. But then again, there is one factor that we need to be very much aware of. That is the factor of President William Samoei Arap Ruto, the doctor of Kenyan politics.
Then comes Group 3, the so-called New Generation, led by ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna, alongside MPs Babu Owino and Caleb Amisi. This faction insists Raila never endorsed working with Ruto. According to insiders, just 23 days before his death, Raila questioned about ODM support for Ruto in the 2027 general elections.
Akasema kama chama lazima tujiandae kwa ajili ya uchaguzi wa mwaka 2027. Na wale ambao wanaeneza mambo mengine hapa, Baba alisema, who has told you?
We are ODM. Who's told you that ODM will not have a candidate in 2027?
And their tone has grown openly defiant. In a strongly worded post, MP Caleb Amisi wrote, and I quote, "When Baba says right, we go right. When he says left, we go left. Those who benefited most when Baba could talk and walk are now turning their backs on him. They were waiting for that moment to display their greed, but all of them will go home in 2027. We shall never allow disrespect to Baba just because he is dead. Renaissance needed urgently." End of quote.
Tumeleta handshake.
This youthful wing sees itself as the true heir to Raila Odinga's reform legacy, bold, outspoken, and determined to rebuild ODM from the ground up. According to analysts, this group, while faced with frustration, they could soon walk away to form a new party, one modeled after ODM's original reform spirit.
There's a very big likelihood that the party will split based on opposition and internal politics. Now, splitting the party is not an issue. Having the machinery to run your own party is the question. Do the young Turks have the resources necessary, the political weight, the strength to start new political parties?
Insider says if the current trend continues, Group 1 could protect the Ruto alliance at all costs. Group 2 might retire quietly. And Group 3 could rise with a new movement, ending the orange era as its supporters used to know it. Some even argue that President William Ruto should rejoin the party and run with it in the 2027 polls or merge it with the ruling UDA party.
If you came back to ODM, definitely we'll have you as our flag bearer.
Vijana msilale.
ODM's identity, once anchored in Raila Odinga's leadership, now hangs in the balance. Its future uncertain, its unity fragile. For years, Raila Amolo Odinga was the glue that held ODM party together. His absence has left behind 3 competing visions, all claiming to have his blessings. Whether ODM party survives or splits apart will depend on what its leaders chooses in the coming days. Mike Kagwango, TV47, Nairobi.
Eyes on ODM, as Mike rightfully puts it. Now, Amnesty International says that Tanzania is gripped by fear as authorities intensify their crackdown on dissent ahead of the country's general elections set for October 29th. Amnesty International, the government has escalated its repression, or says that the government has escalated its repression on opposition figures, journalists, civil society groups, and human rights defenders in a deliberate effort to silence critics, suppress civic engagement, and maintain power. The general election is expected to be dominated by ruling Chama cha Mapinduzi CCM party after the disqualification of key opposition presidential candidates. Last month, Luhaga Mpina was disqualified for a second time from running, while Tundu Lissu of the Chama cha Demokrasia na Maendeleo Chadema party is currently on trial for treason.
Amnesty International today has published a report, Unopposed, Unchecked, Unjust, Wave of Terror sweeps Tanzania ahead of 2025 vote. This report follows from a 2020 pre-election report, Lawfare, Repression by Law Ahead of Tanzania General Election. In 2020, we documented state use of old laws, new laws to suppress dissent, targeting political opposition, media houses, journalists, civil society organizations, and activists, among others, in a wave that saw a lot of human rights violations ahead of the 2020 elections. In 2025, the scenario has not changed. In fact, it has worsened, whereby we are seeing a wave of terror. We've seen unlawful killings happening in the country. We've seen disappearances of opposition leaders. We've seen disappearances of even very senior officials like a former ambassador of Tanzania to Cuba. We have seen closure of media outlets. We have seen closure of other online platforms. We have seen...
Back to the country, and a GSU police officer, PC Benson Kodia Olayo, has reported being disarmed of his Jericho pistol, which was loaded with 15 rounds of 9mm ammunition. And now the incident occurred yesterday, Sunday, at around 4:30 p.m. at the main gate of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University during the funeral of the late former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. The officer was accompanying Kakamega Governor Fernandez Baraza, that is alongside 4 other police officers, when they were attacked by a group of youth who overpowered them and made away with the officer's firearm. An investigation has been launched by officers from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, in Bondo to recover the missing weapon, and the public has been urged to provide any information that may assist in the recovery of the firearm. Security agencies have vowed to take swift measures to enhance safety. A few kilometers from Bondo town stands Opoda Farm. A powerful space has defined the epicenter of Raila Odinga's political life. More than 100 bulls were traditionally presented by mourners drawn from different communities at the Opoda Farm in Bondo, Siaya County. But what does Opoda Farm mean? Violet Auma has the details from Bondo.
We are at Opoda Farm, Raila's residence here in Bondo sub-county in Siaya County. You know, when I came here, I was like wondering, what does Opoda mean? And I've been, you know, trying to look for elders here to talk to us. What does Opoda mean? You know, Raila Odinga, this is where he lives, his residence, but his home is at Kango Kajaramogi, that is his ancestral home where the father was buried and other, you know, family members. But today, I'm privileged and honored to have one of the elders here. He is a chairman of Luo Council of Elders, in Bondo Sub-County, Maurice Olo, to talk to us about Opodo Farm, to shed some light. Tell us, what does Opodo Farm mean? Karibu sana, Mzee Maurice.
Asante sana. So Opoda is starting long time ago, before we are born. It is our ancient fathers which all lived here. So one of them is called Raila. Raila is the grandfather of called Raila Odinga. So after that, Mzee Jaramogi is decided to come back now. And he was the first person to build a house here, around that corner. His office, because he has the land in the near the home at that side, and he decided to come here to build another office here. After the building the office here, this place was a huge place where the market is not there, post mill is not there. He decided to put a post mill here inside the home here. And so many people they are coming here. He likes this place because the other place there are so many people. So when they come here, he relaxes. So after that, he decided that his children, this Uburu, Raila, and Uburu and Raila, to come and build this side. Because this side now it's a big land, and there's nothing they're doing in this land. So Uburu is the first person to come here, and they build it the other side.
Raila Odinga came here, Opoda Farm, in 1986.
Because Uburu is the first to build there, 1984. Yeah, 1984. So Raila came here, 1986.
So what does Opoda Farm mean? Or Opoda, what does Opoda mean?
Opoda now, it is, okay, before they came, there are some people who come and hiding this place. So hid here. Oh, okay. So they call it Opoda, pale yako kujificha.
So walikuja kujificha, so Opoda means kujificha.
Kujificha.
Okay. So now this is Opoda Farm. Opoda Farm, is it Raila's residence or the family's residence?
No, it's his father's land, but after fathers, then the children has to take over. So Raila's also take some parts. Uburu also takes some parts. There's the last born, called Osewe, also given another parcel there.
So what does Opoda Farm represent for people here, or rather to the people of Bondo and Siaya in general?
Actually, when Railas came here and stay here, the people in this area, they usually come in this home. And when they came, Raila treat them like their own children. If you come here and say that I need school fees, he will pay you. I need something to go and build my home, he will pay you. I need what we call job. Yes, I have a child and he does not have a job, he will give you. Tennis was very, very generous to people. You cannot compare Raila. Raila requires about two types. There's a Raila who is in Siasa, Raila at home.
How do you as elders view Opoda Farm? Is it like a cultural shrine? Is it like a political home? How do you view it?
Yeah, today I can say it is changing, in fact. Because even so many people, there comes different ways. They come, they want to see Opoda where Raila is. Because the name of Raila, it's like asset of Luo plus Nyanza plus Kenya as a whole. So people come here to see where the heroes come from.
What emotions actually or memories do people have about Opoda? For example, like if you get to, tell somebody about Opoda, what memories do they have?
The legacy of Raila. I think that's what I say, and I can repeat it. Raila is a man of the people. I say when he comes here and you meet with him, and you say that my problem is A, B, C, D, you will sort out very easily. If I Raila di Opoda, you can say Raila di Opoda.
What do you mean Raila is Opoda? Because you say the Opoda is the place that people hide. So
because I said, because before Railas came, it is just like that. It's a bush. There's nobody. You cannot come here and you see somebody here. But after Raila came here, so many people, they come here. And different places. Even Wahindis come here, Wakikuyu, Wakamba, every types of tribes. They just come here to consult Raila about the future of the county, their own things. They just come.
You know, I have been here for the like 2 days, and I've seen people coming in to mourn Raila Odinga since his passing, and a lot of them are like chanting Joey, 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 and they are dressed or rather adorned with different attires. What does it even mean traditionally? How symbolic is it?
Traditionally, if somebody dies and is a hero, we as elders, people come here in different ways. People some of them, they come with cows. Some of them will come with those spears and they shout, Joey, 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 because they believe the death of a certain person, which is occur, it is a natural death. In fact, we believe like that. It's a belief, this thing might be somebody's hands. So when they do that when they chase the spirit.
So in your view, what message does Opoda Farm send to the future generations about identity and belonging?
This GLC, they don't believe in these things. But we people ambayo, we know what Raila speaks to Kenya. We can say it is a lesson to us, because Raila's fight from the common man. Raila's fight for all his life to Kenya to be in a good governance. That's why you see so many people love Raila.
So now, as elders, and now Raila has passed, and you say that most of these people actually identify this place, Opoda Farm, associated to Raila Odinga's family. Yes. So now, what are your plans, or maybe what will you recommend that should be done? Because now Raila Odinga is not here anymore.
But when his father died, people say that, Jaramogi is gone. There's nobody will come again. Then it's just unfortunate you see Raila's come as own in political arena, and he's doing wonders. So he has also, we know somebody will come here again. Here in this place, here in this home, and he will shake Kenya again. Yes, because the man we buy today is a hero of the people. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That is Maurice Olo, is the Luo Council of Elders here in Bondo Sub-County, being like just shedding light and also enlightening us about Opoda Farm. Basically, when we came here, we were like wondering, what does even Opoda mean? He has told us what it means, a place where people used to hide. And so, of course, a lot of memories about Opoda Farm and them as a people who have actually seen it grow, transform to the place that it is right now. A lot of people actually consider it as a shrine. Others really look at it as a political center stage where, all issues are being discussed here, issues about the Luo Nyanza politics and national issues. This was Raila's home, and still is Raila's home, Opoda Farm in Bondo, Siaya County. Thank you so much. I've been your host, Violet Auma. See you.
Now you know. Thank you, Violet, for that. 1 in every 6 immigrants globally are hosted in the IGAD region, primarily in Kenya. This is according to regional labor ministers who are in Nairobi for the 3rd IGAD Ministerial Conference on Labor. Now, the ministers are now calling for a review of the Djibouti or the Djibouti Declaration, which seeks to improve labor immigration and migration governance, protect migrant workers, and promote decent work. Experts are raising alarm on the surging numbers of illegal immigrants making passage through the Red Sea, a danger post for the region's stability and growth.
After a moment of silence for the fallen Pan-Africanist Raila Odinga, The third IGAD Ministerial Conference on Labour kicked off in Nairobi in an attempt to kickstart an elusive regional dream on streamlining labour migration, a vision blurred by differing policies and a growing movement of civilians and immigrants up north.
You know, migration and labour are very key in IGAD region because migration, we are a region of destination transit and sometimes the origin.
Cyclical civil unrest is one of the realities pushing trained and untrained labour across regional borders, compromising dire development progress.
We know that the number of migrants we have in the region today, it's nearly the double of the number a decade ago. It's a defining force shaping livelihoods, labor markets, and regional integration.
Currently, more than 23 million forcibly displaced individuals, of whom 17 million are internally displaced, while 5.3 million have been turned to refugees and asylum seekers, are within the region. These numbers, according to the delegates, presents a burden to countries, forcing states to balance resources between locals and immigrants.
That's why what is called the Red Sea route, and also called the Eastern route, remains a priority for us all. This route is one of the busiest and deadly routes in the whole world.
This brings to our attention our call and commitment to implementing the plan of action that was drawn years back as a means, as a roadmap to fulfilling the Djibouti Declaration.
Kenya now hosts more than 800,000 asylum seekers, the highest in the IGAD region, and the fifth highest in Africa. Hibak Said for TV47.
We get sporty, where Machakos Talent Academy FC and Mas Queens are the new Eastern Region football champions after triumphing during the regional finals held at the Kenyatta Stadium in Machakos. MTA beat Milimani United 5-4 on post-match penalties after both teams had played to a 1-1 draw in regular time to win the men's title. The new champions drew fast blood in the 7th minute through Morrison Mutiso, but Rian Ochieng levelled matters 20 minutes later as the two sides headed to penalties.
Kwa kuleta hii tournament imetusaidia sana sisi wasichana wa mjini. At least tumejikeep busy, tusikuwe na story mingi. At least tukienda nationals pia tutaonesha vile tunaweza pia.
Sisi tunasiri kwa mapena. Naweza sema ni kipa wetu tunaaminia. Na mtu yote anachukua hizo pena zote 5 amejiaminia. You know what I'm
very tough because everyone wanted to win the money. It was very tough and intense. Very, very tough and intense.
Tournament ikuwa rahisi. People came knowing that we are the defending champions, so they came to prove a point, but they found us well prepared.
Elsewhere, the national women's soccer team Harambee Starlets are gearing up for a crucial first leg encounter against the Gambia on Friday evening in what is expected to be an enticing Women's Africa Cup of Nations qualifier tie. The Baldino Dembe-led side will be keen on capitalizing on home advantage as they aim to seal a second-ever appearance in the continental showpiece since their debut appearance in 2016. The Starlets will then travel to Senegal for critical second league showdown scheduled for Tuesday. Nairobi United intensified their training ahead of their second leg fixture against Tunisian giants Etoile Sportive du Sahel in the CAF Confederations set for Sunday 26th in the Tunisian capital. And the first leg played on Sunday 19th at the Ulinzi Sports Complex. The newly promoted Kenyan Premier League side stunned the Tunisian giants 2-0 courtesy of goals from Ovela Ochieng and Duncan Omala. The Nicholas Muyoti-led side are one step away from selling a historic group stage sport and will be keen to showcase their class on hostile territory.
Our second match away for this team. If we can have a very good match in Tunis next week, then I believe history will come by itself. But for us now is that match. We want it to be a different match, different approach. And I believe if we keep the same morale and the same commitment with the players, we'll do that. Then of course history will come again in Kenya.
We try to do it. We'll try to be ready 100%, 200% to win this caliphate to second to group past, and we will try everything.
Honestly, now we just have to go put ourselves up because already we have a 2-0.
And on Sunday night, the Red Devils of Manchester brought Anfield to pin-drop silence as they stand at the defending champions. At 9:58 p.m. East African time. It's my hope that you're now well updated and looking forward to tomorrow and so much so. Thank you so much for always keeping it TV47. As we close the long holiday, we certainly hope for a better tomorrow. My name is Linda Alela. This is where we close the daily report. I look forward to see you again tomorrow. My name once again is Linda Alela, appreciating the sign language interpreter, none other than Ruda Nyamai and the rest of the team. Have a good night.
Hey kids and families, get ready for